I'm Valerie. I'll be assisting you today.
Dominic.
I read from your intake form. Your name is Dominic Williams. Is there something you prefer to be called?
Dominic or Dom.
Dom?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and sit down. So there's a few things that we need to talk about before we get started today. I just need to inform you about company policy and confidentiality. I just have to let you know that everything you say is confidential here unless you talk about intending to hurt yourself or others. And because I'm a mandated reporter, I have to report that at that point. But other than that, if that's not a problem, everything else is confidential. So are there any questions or concerns you have for me before we get started?
I don't think so.
Okay. If you could do me a favor and sign this so that I know you agree to the terms of confidentiality. Thank you. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, do you want to expound a little bit on what I saw in the intake form about you having a little bit of marital issues right now?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, my wife and I have been getting in little arguments for a while now, and it's kind of just boiled up. And on top of that, my secretary at work, who is rather attractive, has been coming on to me. So,
Ooh, that must be difficult for you.
yeah, it's not easy to deal with.
Sorry to hear that. Have you and your wife experienced any other kind of marital issues up to this point?
It's just been little fights, but it's just adding up now, I guess. And I don't know, feel hopeless.
Helpless. Sorry to hear that. So how have you tended to resolve any of the minor conflicts you've had before?
Well, I don't know. Whenever we have conflicts, I like to just fix things right away. I don't like when things are messed up, but she usually just wants to have it one time. It's something we definitely need to work on is conflict resolution.
Well, it's good that you recognize that. So tell me, what annoys you most about your wife?
And that's just her way or the highway. She nags me about everything. If I'm doing something that she wants me to do, then I'm doing it the wrong way. There's no pleasing her.
So it sounds like you feel disrespected when she tells you what to do all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're tired of keeping all of these problems inside, and you finally, it sounds like you're kind of hopeful that to get this all out in the open, and you're tired of pretending that there aren't any problems in your marriage.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, definitely think we need to resolve things and bring to light what is going on.
It's great that you're willing to work on things. I'm sure that your wife would be proud of you. Does she know that you're here today?
No.
She doesn't? How do you think she would react to that?
I'm not sure. I think she would wonder why I didn't talk to her first instead of just coming here.
So you feel like she should give you a little bit more credit, though?
Yeah, I think so. I'm trying hard to get things the way they need to be.
I can see that, and it's got to be difficult for you to come here.
Yeah, it's not very easy.
That's a bold move. So tell me, how long have you and your wife been married?
It'll be 15 years this May.
Oh wow, congratulations.
Thanks.
That's a long time to be together and not have experienced major problems before.
Yeah.
You guys should be proud. It seems like you're willing to work on your marriage, but I noticed you're not wearing your wedding ring. Is there something you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I want to be with my wife now, but I guess there was a time when things were really bad a few months back where I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know which route I wanted to go in life.
were confused for a while, but now divorce isn't an option anymore?
No.
Well, what changed your mind and made you decide to come in here and work on your marriage?
Well, I love my wife and I don't want to lose her. I just want things to be back the way they were.
Well, you're in the right place because if you want to, we can work on how to restore your marriage. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about your wife and what's going on there. Do you want to tell me a little bit more about your secretary and what's going on with her?
Well, it's nothing major. It's just, I don't know. She listens to what I have to say. She's really funny. She's attractive. And I can tell she's definitely interested in me. And just with the way things are at home, it's hard to not like that attention. It's hard to not want that instead of what's at home.
I can understand how, it's easy to get along with her, so, it's easier for you to focus your attention on her.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think that your focus on her has been affecting your behavior on your wife at all?
Yeah, because when things are going on at home, instead of fixing them, I just kind of try to ignore it until I can get back to work. Because I just enjoy being at work right now. Because it's sort of like a break, actually, which is weird. But
Yeah. So you don't enjoy time at home at all, or are there ups and downs?
there's ups and downs, but lately it's just been a lot of downs.
Sorry to hear that. So I'm wondering, has there been any kind of physical contact with you and the secretary at work? Or
Not really.
nothing at all? What do you consider to be inappropriate physical contact in a marriage?
Oh, sex.
Sex, and there hasn't been any sex?
No.
No? And there hasn't been anything else besides that?
I don't know, she just, when she walks by me, she always, brushes past me, instead of just walking past me. She always makes me make sure that I know that she's walking there. She wants to get my attention, I can tell.
So, you think she really likes you then?
Yeah, she's hinted around at it quite a bit.
I see. And have you ever tried telling her how you feel about what's going on with you and her?
No, I haven't really done that yet. I don't like controversy in awkward situations.
Okay. Well, do you think that it's something that you would want to do eventually? Or that you could do?
I think it would be a good idea. Because I think it would help my marriage a lot if we could get the stuff at work to stop.
Okay, well, I'm just wondering if, since you say that you are kind of thinking about confronting your secretary, if maybe you would want to role play how that situation would go when you're talking to your secretary. I could pretend to be your secretary and you could just talk to me like you were talking to her. Does that sound like something you want to do?
I could do that.
Okay. Well, when and where do you think that you would most likely talk to her about this?
Usually in the copier room.
Okay. Well, how about I pretend that I'm making a copy and you just come in and talk to me how you think you might, okay?
Alright. Hey Barb, how's it going?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. There was something I wanted to talk to you about.
Okay.
You and I think have been able to tell that things at home are rough for me. I've been giving you a lot of attention, but I definitely want things to work with my wife, so I kind of need to keep our professional relationship professional and leave it at that.
But you've been showing me attention too. I thought you've been enjoying it, but I understand.
It's not that I don't enjoy your friendship, it's just I don't want to lose my wife over something because I love my wife.
Okay, well, I can't be too mad about that because I wouldn't want to make any major regrets either. Thanks for talking to me about this. Sorry about what's been going on with this.
Oh, it's okay.
Well, Dawn, I think that role-playing went pretty well. I'm impressed with your words. I think that if you manage to say what you said to me to her, I think that could help your marriage a lot. And I think she should be understanding of it.
I hope so.
So, thus far today, we've talked about the tension with your wife at home and what bothers you about that. And then we talked about your secretary and how that's getting a little bit too intimate at work. So I'm wondering if at this point, if you want to talk about some things that you want to accomplish in your time here. And there might be some things that you don't want to work on by next week, but that you think you want to do at some point, so we can make some short-term, some long-term goals. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. So you seemed kind of indecisive about talking to your wife about your feelings. So I'm wondering if maybe by next week, say, if you're comfortable with it, if you would want to make a list of pros and cons regarding talking to her, not talking to her, about your feelings, about what's going on with your secretary and your wife. Does that sound like something that you'd want to do that would be helpful?
Yeah, I think I could do that. Doesn't
By
seem
next
like-
week?
Yeah, I don't think that'd be that bad.
Okay. And maybe for a long-term goal, to want to think of something that you could maybe do for a long-term goal, maybe?
I'd like to either talk to my wife or the secretary, but I'm not really sure which way would be more beneficial. I feel like if I talk to my wife, she'll be mad. But at the same time, maybe she would respect the fact that I'm coming to her. But I feel like the easier way is to just talk to my secretary and get that stuff over with, and then fix things with my marriage after that.
Yeah. I definitely think that, you have valid concerns, but you might be worrying too much. I don't know if it seems like you've kind of given some thought to the fact that your wife might be supportive that you've came here and that you're trying to work on things. And I think she might be proud of you for that. And I think that those goals sound really good. So I'm wondering, since you're still really indecisive about talking to your wife, if you would want to consider talking to your secretary by next week, just so you could get that out of the way, like you said.
I can try to. I can't make any promises, but...
Okay. It sounds like, we have a lot we can work on here, but it sounds like you're willing to work through things. And we've talked about how your marriage is a little bit complicated and stressful right now, but you're hopeful that things will get better. And maybe even if your wife, if she wants to come in and talk to me with you together, we could work on that together if that sounds like something that you'd want to do.
I wouldn't have a problem with that. I just wanted to see, how to approach her with that yet.
Okay. But I got all of the goals right? You're going
Yeah.
to work on your pros and cons by next week and confront your secretary.
Hopefully.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that sounds good to you?
Yeah.
Okay, Dawn. Well, our time is up. It was nice to meet you, and I'll see you next week. Okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Thanks.